On Osrc News at 7, Governor Ayedatiwa presents staff of office to new Ajana of Afa Okiagbe. Motorists groan as fuel scarcity bites harder. Olukayode Ariwola retires as 22nd Chief Justice of Nigeria. And from the foreign scene, Israel issues new evacuation orders for Palestinians in southern Gaza.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on the news at 7. Sahid Aribisala is my name. The ongoing irregularities in fuel prices across Nigeria have sparked growing concerns among residents of Ondo State. Passengers and motorists lamented the struggle to cope with the economic impact of fluctuating cost at filling stations. Tosi Adeboali reports that the price of petrol varies across the filling stations.
Across Ondo State, the price of petrol has become unstable, fluctuating from one day to the other, leaving people in a state of constant anxiety. With petrol prices ranging from as low as 580 naira to as high as 999 naira per litre, many filling stations remain closed due to inability to secure supplies. A resident, Mr. Idowu Adedeji, expressed frustration, saying many families are finding it increasingly difficult to manage their daily expenses. He also added that the unpredictable fuel cost has led to an increase in the price of goods and services, putting additional pressure on household budgets.
It's not convenient. It's absolutely not convenient. I'm only trying because the way I am now, I'm stranded. So there's no way for me than to buy it at that rate. So I will later go ahead and buy it from another place where I can get it at lesser price. But for now, I'm stranded. No alternative for me. I must buy it so that I will be able to move on. It has affected food price, everything. So there's no way fuel can be at this and the price of things will go down.
Motorists and passengers across the state have also been hit hard by irregular fuel prices. This situation has led to frustration and uncertainty among drivers who are not sure of their daily budget.
Now my passengers, some of them don't even run away because of standing here to buy fuel. All of them don't run. The price is too much. They say 950, 9 or 1,000. So we will not feel make am. If I buy 1,000 naira from Lagos to Abuja, I no go get 1 naira where my children go take shop. That is why I queue here. Make I buy normal price.
I was here since like 8 o'clock in the morning. They open around 9. This is after 12 or something like that. Now up to now, they already locked the gate. They no open till tomorrow. Why? They are not fuel. To set the fuel is issue.
The irregularities in fuel prices have been described as not just an inconvenience, but a significant strain, leaving commuters uncertain about how much their next trip will cost. Tosin Adeboali, Osrc News.
The Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, has called for the full implementation of the directive of President Bola Tinubu on the supply of crude to Dangote refinery, describing the establishment of the refinery as both a nationalistic and patriotic endeavor. The Umbrella Professional Association of Lawyers urged the federal government and Nigerians to support the Dangote Petroleum Refinery to end the reign of fuel scarcity and perennial queues at filling stations in the country. It expressed disappointment that the major project is encountering strong resistance from fuel importers who have stifled the economy and kept it reliant on imported refined petroleum products despite Nigeria's status as a leading crude oil producer. The president of the NBA, Yakubu Mukiao, who led other leaders and members of the association on a visit to the facility, praised the president, chief executive of the Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, for remaining steadfast despite the opposition faced. He urged the federal government to create a supportive environment for the refinery aiming to transform Nigeria into a net exporter of refined petroleum products and to alleviate the severe hardships caused by fuel scarcity. The Ondo State government has continued to intensify efforts at ensuring zero potholes across the state. A visit to some areas in Akure, the state capital, showed it is a jolly ride for motorists, while other areas are still begging for attention. Abidemi Akinrotoye reports.
Failed portions on roads are always a concern to motorists and other road users. This is basically due to the danger they portend. Not losing sight of this, the Ondo State government has taken the bull by the horn by embarking on Operation Zero Potholes across the state. Visits to Igbatoro Axis of Akure showed that motorists now heave a sigh of relief following government's prompt response.
It's impressive because for a long time now, about from this year, the road are being, spoiled. So I'm happy the governor have come to our end here.
They okay. As they do now, you go let the business dey fast.
Other areas such as Araromi, Obade Ishida, Arakale and Alagbaka area have equally enjoyed the Operation Zero Potholes initiative. However, there are some other places within the state capital that are begging for attention. One of such is Plaza Road in Oke-Ijebu Axis of the state capital. A trader at Isolo area, Ronke Adeyeke, analyzed how the state of the road had led to traffic confusion on many occasions.
Due to the bad road now, so many accidents occurs most of the time. Some of the vehicle they struggle before, especially when it is raining season. Nobody could pass through this road. So we are urging the government to do something about it.
Similarly, Chairman of the People Living with Disabilities, Mayowa Falayo, called for an intervention on the road, which he said affects individuals with disabilities.
As a person with disability, physically challenged people, especially those on wheelchair, they are unable to pass this road. I had an accident on this road last 2 weeks on bike, which was very terrible. It's because of the pothole, and I want to implore our His Excellency Honorable Lucky Orimiso Ayedatiwa to please kindly assist us. He's been doing well, and we all know that, and I know he will definitely do so. He will do the needful. So we are pleading to him to assist us on this bad road.
Responding, Special Advisor to the Governor on Infrastructure, Land and Housing, Joseph Babalola, addressed the concern of motorists and road users, assuring that all hands are on deck to bridge the gap.
Shiguade, down straight to our quarters, they pass through Sunbed. We have done that as well. Okelisa to Ayetoro, Amudipo area, we have done that. We have done that of CBN, so that we have done a lot. So that we immediately we have actually fixed all those areas, and then we now look at the volume of asphalt that we bring, and then we have cut enough so that by the grace of God, started laying asphalt on all the areas that have been cut and have been attended to with stone based. By the time we finish that, the next phase will commence, another phase will commence, and it will cut across all the senatorial district. So then when we finish this, another phase will still come up.
Other motorists and road users are optimistic of government intervention that would lead to well-paved road across the state. Abidemi Akinrotoye, Osrc News.
Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has presented instrument of appointment and stamp of office to the Ajana Fa of Okiage, Oba Mufolorunshon Adegboyega Aransoni, with a promise to always promote development of traditional institutions. Governor Ayedatiwa, who highlighted the transparency and adherence to due process that culminated in the ratification of the monarch by the State Executive Council, emphasized the responsibilities that come with the traditional authority. The governor urged the new monarch to use his position to foster unity, peace, and development within his domain, while restating his determination to promote all-round development of the state, especially at the grassroots. He highlighted ongoing efforts of his administration to enhance public schools, healthcare facilities, road infrastructure, rural development, and food sufficiency across the state. Ayedatiwa noted that the need for peaceful coexistence among residents of the state, especially before, during, and after the fast approaching governorship election in November.
All see the emergence of the new king as the will of God for your town under these circumstances. You have only one ruling house. Tí ẹnìkan bá ti tí Ọlọ́run bá ti yan ẹnìkan tó Ọlọ́run ló máa ń fi èèyàn sí ipò. Kò sí ọba tó jẹ tọ́lọ́run ò fọwọ́ sí o. Kò bá ẹ̀ ṣe dáadáa àbí kó tún ṣe dáadáa ó nídìí tọ́lọ́run fi síbẹ̀. Ó yẹ kí gbogbo wa ká kọ́wọ́ tì wọ́n ni. Let me also use this medium to inform the gathering that the security of the inhabitants of this state is topmost priority of our administration, and we shall continue to make concerted effort to rid our communities of all antisocial behaviors and other criminalities. The state government is continually committing enormous resources to strengthening the Amotekun cause in terms of equipment and human resources. This is in addition to the funding of other security agencies in the state through regular logistical supports. This government cannot tolerate a situation where our citizens cannot conduct their daily businesses in a safe environment. Government, however, needs your support and cooperation to make this possible. Present the instrument of appointment to our Oba, the newly appointed Oba, Mufolorunsho Adegboyega Arasayin. Congratulations, Kabiyesi. The staff of office as Ajana Aba Okeagbe, may your reign be peaceful. You live long.
Away from Okeagbe, the coronation and presentation of staff of office to the Olosi of Osiekiti, Obasti Galabi Arubiojo II, comes up on Saturday, 31st August 2024. The ceremony will be performed by Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji. The event, which is to usher in the new monarch, holds at St. Paul's Anglican Primary School, Osiekiti, at 10 in the morning. Eminent personalities, sons and daughters of Osiekiti, people from all walks of life are expected to attend. Justice Olukayode Ariwola, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN, has officially retired from service upon reaching the mandatory retirement age of 70. While at the Supreme Court complex in Abuja, Ariwola disclosed that to suit the times and address current challenges, he signed off on the new Supreme Court Rules 2024 earlier this month. He explained that upon assuming office as the CJN 2 years ago, he was concerned about the rules regulating procedures in the Apex Court, which had been in place for 39 years, predating the advent of the Internet and electronic transactions. Justice Ariwola noted that the realization of the need to reduce the undue burden on the Supreme Court led to the collaboration between the National Judicial Institute, the Ministry of Justice, and the Nigeria Bar Association to host the Justice Sector Reform Summit in April. He expressed hope that the far-reaching decisions made at the summit would greatly assist the justice sector. The Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, has said that the 2025 budget for State House agencies will be based on needs assessment. He said this was to ensure that funding allocated to agencies was based on actual requirements. Gbajabiamila, who spoke to newsmen in Abuja following a one-day fact-finding tour of some government agencies under the supervision of the State House, urged the staff of the agencies to embrace innovation, excellence and professionalism while supporting their chief executives to succeed. He also emphasized the importance of transparency in the procurement process, which is critical to upholding the administration's commitment to good governance and accountability. We're due for a break on the news at 7. We'll be back with more stories. Please stay with us. The protection of journalists' rights in the discharge of their duties and support in coverage of events have been described as crucial for societal development. Chairman, Correspondent Chapel of the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Ondo State, Tosin Ajuwon, emphasized this during the event climaxing the Chapel's Correspondence Week. Governor Ayedatiwa and other personalities joined the pen professionals at the 2024 Public Lecture and Awards.
The public lecture and award ceremony of the Correspondent Chapel of Nigeria Union of Journalists, Ondo State Council, is the climax of a week-long series of activities marking this year's Correspondent Week. The event was a convergence point for not only journalists, but for public office holders, policies experts, among others. Chairman of the chapel, Tosin Ajuwon, and the NUJ Council Chairman, Leke Adegbite, spoke on the significance of the gathering as an opportunity for discourse on salient issues affecting media practice and society at large.
As journalists, an election is not just about casting the ballots. It is also about ensuring transparency process that hold the leaders accountable and to guarantee the right of people to be heard. We must ensure they have the right to promote the values they hold dearly, the issues that matter most to them, and the kind of society they want the leaders to build.
When you talk about election, particularly that of 83, it was primarily caused by the wrong information media was used to dish out. So we are very careful not to repeat such bad experience in Ondo State. So, what am I saying? We should do the work together by ensuring that we don't allow blackmailers to parade themselves as journalists and set our state on fire.
Delivering a lecture on the event theme, Electioneering Roles and Responsibility of the Media, a media scholar, Dr. Gbenga Dibimbola, wants journalists to play their roles diligently to help foster peace and democracy.
The Electoral Act 2022, that is the latest. As a journalist, you must read it inside out. If you don't read it, if you don't know it, then you may not know your responsibility, your rights, and your obligations to the society in election matters. The second one is the guidelines that the Electoral Umpire INEC has issued, which is an offshoot of the Electoral Act.
Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, represented by Secretary to the State Government Tayo Oluwatoyi, and other guests at the event highlighted issues and interventions necessary in the area of food security, gender and media practice.
As for the fourth estate of the realm, every member of your profession has the onerous responsibility of putting the government on its toes. Your profession is the bedrock of democracy in any democratic state, and as an administration will recognize the crucial role you play in shaping public opinion.
Thereafter, the conversation paved way for the recognition of individuals for their contribution to humanity. Among those recognized for their support to the pen professionals and their impact to society are the Chief Press Secretary to Ondo State Governor Ebenezer Adeniran and Commander Amotekun Corps Adetunji Adeleye. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa at the event was officially decorated as Grand Patron.
Muslim women from across Nigeria under the umbrella of the Federation of Muslim Women in Nigeria, FOMWAN, have converged in Ondo State for the 39th National Conference of the association. At the press briefing heralding the four-day engagement, the National Amira of FOMWAN, Alhaja Rufiat Sani, said the association will continue to be a voice for women and children. The theme for the conference is Women and the Challenges of Insecurity. The report.
The 39th National Conference of the Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Nigeria, FOMWAN, is heralded with this press conference in Akure, the Ondo State capital. In attendance are members of the national and local organizing committees. The National Amira of the association, Alhaja Rufiat Sani, takes the lead, addressing journalists on the essence for the formation of FOMWAN.
The Federation of Muslim Women's Associations in Nigeria, FOMWAN, was established in October 1985. FOMWAN was founded to serve as a voice for women and children. For the past 38 years, FOMWAN has tirelessly worked to fulfill its objectives through our dawah and educational initiatives. We have witnessed the growth and development of women and the girl child, establishing FOMWAN schools across the nation. Our health programs have significantly improved the well-being of our members and their communities, with 6 operational hospitals, clinics, and pharmacies.
This year's convergence on Ondo State, Alhaja Sani says, will provide further avenue for the Muslim women to chart a way forward for their development and the Nigerian society.
Ondo State has the honor of hosting us once again, 21 years after our last gathering here.
Former national president of the association, Professor Sadiya Omar, noted that the theme for this year's conference, which is Women and the Challenges of Insecurity, will be explored to unearth solutions for national development.
We are all citizens of Nigeria. We are a contributing factor to the nation. So we also consider this a very, very key area that we work on.
The chairperson, FOMWAN National Education Committee and former national president, Professor Latifa Durosini, also noted that approaches to tackling poverty will also take center stage.
Now, insecurity is a collective national responsibility. A collective national responsibility, we're going to discuss it. We are going to have syndicate sessions to discuss it. What does Islam say? What does Islam have to offer on these issues of insecurity? So we're going to discuss the issue of poverty, of course, is a factor when you talk about insecurity.
The conference, which will have in attendance Muslim women from across the country, starts on Thursday, August 22nd, and will end on Sunday, August 25th, 2024. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
Gunmen have reportedly killed 13 persons and their farms in the Angua Maigoro community of Shiroro local government area in Niger State. In a statement by the attack as satanic, insensible, atrocious, and callous. Garba said it is utterly appalling and deeply disturbing to see people perpetrate such a barbaric and vicious act against fellow humans. The Deputy Governor expressed condolences to the grieving families and residents on the Shiroro community. He added that the state government remains resolute in its quest for peace and security across Niger. He asked security agencies to remain steadfast and undeterred in their efforts, promising them full support in their battle against criminal elements. And the federal mines officer in Cross River State, Mayowa Moshedi, alongside the State Commissioner for Mineral Resources and security personnel have arrested a number of illegal miners, seized their equipment and mining sites. The development took place when the task force visited identified sites unearthing illegal Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Development and the Cross River State Government. Outside Nigeria now, Kenyan police have offered a cash reward for information leading to the arrest of a suspected serial killer who escaped from a Nairobi police cell. Police launched a manhunt Tuesday after Collins Jumaise, who is accused of murdering and dismembering dozens of women, broke out of a police station in an upmarket area of the Kenyan capital, along with 12 Eritreans. The 33-year-old Jumaise, described by police as a vampire, a psychopath, was arrested last month after the gruesome discovery of a number of mutilated female bodies in a rubbish dump in the Mukuru slum area in the Kenyan capital city, Nairobi. Police say he has confessed to murdering 42 women over a 2-year period from 2022, with his wife as the first victim, but the suspect has claimed he was tortured after his arrest. The officers said Jumaise and other men escaped by cutting through a wire mesh where he was being held before scaling a perimeter wall. Israel has issued new evacuation orders impacting over 150,000 displaced Palestinians from central to southern Gaza. The affected areas include parts of Deir el-Balah and Khan Yunis in the south. United Nations noted that almost 90% of Gaza's population has been displaced, at least once since the beginning of the war in October. Blessing Obi completes the story.
No rest and no end in sight. Tens of thousands of displaced Palestinians flee once again from areas they were told would be safe. Most are facing the same dilemma. There is nowhere left to go and no guarantee of safety.
Death is more merciful in this country. We were displaced 20 times. I swear to God, our houses and tents were struck. They do not want us to live. Oh God, they don't even want us to enjoy our life. The people are dying and there's wounded everywhere. The people do not know where to go. Even Al-Mawasi is not safe. We don't know where to go, to the sea, or where. Death is more merciful.
As Israel expands its ground operations from south to central Gaza, it has told civilians to leave. Those evacuation orders cover some of the most densely populated areas in the Strip in Deir el-Balah and Khan Yunis. Displaced Palestinians carry what little they have left. Some have vehicles, others donkeys, but most are fleeing on foot.
We haven't been able to sleep for 3 days. Wherever you go, there is bombing. This is the 7th time I've been displaced. We've had enough. Find us a solution. We can't bear this any longer.
Tent camps like this in Deir el-Balah are where many are forced to find shelter. Only 9% of the strip still designated by the Israeli military is safe, and that number is steadily decreasing month by month.
There is no safe place. They strike everywhere. At 6 o'clock in the morning, there were tank shells falling on us in the east of Deir el-Balah while we were sleeping. Tank shells landed directly on people's heads. This morning, they landed directly above people's heads. I'd like someone to tell me, where are people supposed to go? Where do people go? We've had enough. Enough.
The United Nations says at least 90% of Gaza's population has been displaced at least once since the beginning of the war in October. And for most Palestinians and Gaza, this is the only constant. Blessing Obi, Osrc News.
And to end the news tonight, another look at the major stories. We told you that Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has presented instrument of appointment and staff of office to new Ajana of Afa, Okiagbe, Oba Mufolorunso Adegboyega Araswani. The governor emphasized the responsibilities that comes with the traditional authority. Motorists in Ondo State have expressed frustration following the drastic increment in fuel prices. Ondo residents lamented their struggles coping with the economic impact of fluctuating costs at filling stations. So informed you that Olukayode Ariwoola has retired as the 22nd Chief Justice of Nigeria upon reaching the mandatory retirement age of 70 from the front in Israel, as they issued new evacuation orders for Palestinians in southern Gaza. And that's the news tonight. Thanks for watching. Good evening.